Okay, this is the story of Mulan. Life in China was about to change. The Huns had crossed over the Great Wall of China and wanted to battle the Chinese for their land. The Huns were a group of traveling warriors. They would meet from country to country and battle any army they encountered. As it turns out, they did not like the Chinese or their Great Wall. The Huns were ready to attack each village one by one. General Li of the Chinese emperor's army rode as fast as he could to tell the emperor that the Huns had crossed the wall. General Li knew that China was in danger. Only the emperor would know how to save the people of China. When the emperor heard the news, he was very concerned. It had been a long time since he had sent his men into battle. He told General Li that new armies must be assembled. Every family in China must help fight the war against the Huns. One grain of rice can tip the scale, said the emperor. He knew that each man who fought in the war would make a difference in the end. Meanwhile, the evil Shan Yu had begun to frighten the people of China. He used violence against anyone who got in his way, and he set whole villages on fire. Shan Yu was the most powerful leader of the Huns. He did not like the emperor of China. And there's a picture of Shan Wu. In a small village, a young girl named Fa Mulan was preparing to meet the town's matchmaker. The matchmaker met with the young ladies of the village to decide who was ready to be married. Everyone in Mulan's family hoped that the matchmaker would find a husband for Mulan. But Mulan needed to be refined, poised, and punctual when she met the matchmaker. Unfortunately, Mulan was late. Mulan's mother and grandmother helped her get dressed. They put on her makeup and fixed her hair. Grandmother gave Mulan an apple for serenity, jade beads for beauty, a pendant for balance, and a cricket for luck. The cricket's name was Crikey. Mulan then jumped on her horse and quickly rode to the matchmaker's house. Mulan was nervous about meeting the matchmaker. She wanted to bring honor to her family. She did not want to let her father down and shame the family name. But when she met the matchmaker, everything went wrong. Mulan had written notes on her arm so that she would not forget the right things to say. But the matchmaker touched the ink and got it on her face. Then Cricky made Mulan spill the tea, and the matchmaker slipped and sat on hot coals. Mulan was blamed for everything. "She will never bring your family honor," yelled the matchmaker. Mulan and her family were very upset. Back at home, Mulan talked with her father. Mulan was afraid that she would never be the perfect bride or the perfect daughter. Her father smiled and told her that she was just a late bloomer. He had hope for his daughter. Just then, a traveling messenger from the emperor arrived with an announcement. He told of the war with the Huns and declared that one man from each family was required to help fight. Fa Zhu, Mulan's father, was the only man in the family. He would have to go. Mulan was upset. Fa Zhao, sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing Chinese names. I really apologize. Had been a hero in the last Chinese war where he injured his leg. That night, Mulan snuck out of bed. She took her father's armor and sword and cut her hair so that she would look like a boy. She leapt on her horse Khan and rode off to fight in her father's place. She could not bear to think of her injured father in the war. When Mulan got to the training camp, she had trouble making friends. She tried to act like a man, but her awkward behavior caused problems. She was so clumsy that even Captain Li Sheng could not believe his eyes. There's Mulan riding away on her horse. And this is leading into the best song in cinematic history. Oh, I love that song. It's so good. So good. After weeks of practice, Mulan learned to be a good soldier. She had some help from Kriki and Mushu. Mushu was the tiny dragon sent by Mulan's ancestors to help and protect Mulan. He vowed to help make Mulan into an honorable soldier. The time came for Mulan's troop to head into battle. As they rode toward the front line, they were saddened to see the villages that the Huns had burned. So many people were gone because of Shan Yu and the evil Hun army. Over a shadowy mountaintop, Mulan and the other soldiers came face to face with the Huns. There were hundreds of them. Shan Yu and his troops came thundering down the mountain. Li Sheng and his troops were vastly outnumbered, but Mulan had an idea. She pointed and fired a cannon at a snowy peak that hung over the mountain. The blast caused an avalanche, leaving the Huns buried in the snow. Mulan saved her troop from the Huns, but now she, Li Sheng, and Khan were in danger. The avalanche had forced them to the edge of the mountain. They were saved by Mulan's quick thinking and the strength of her friends. Li Sheng and the troops were very proud of Mulan, but they were worried when they saw that she was hurt. Shan Yu had grazed Mulan with his sword as she lit the cannon. I adore this movie. I say that about every single one of these, but I really enjoy this movie. The troop's doctor treated her wound, but he also discovered her secret. He had no choice but to tell Li Sheng and the others that Mulan was really a girl. Sheng was angry to learn that he had been tricked. The penalty for such a lie was severe in China, and Li Sheng spared Mulan's life. Mulan had saved Sheng in battle. Now it was Sheng's turn to save Mulan. Sheng left her and Khan on the mountain alone but alive. At the emperor's palace there was a big celebration. Sheng and his troops were being honored for defeating the Huns. Everyone was happy that China was safe again, but Sheng and his troops rode with heavy hearts as they knew that Mulan was the true hero. On the snowy mountain, though, the Huns were still alive. Mulan saw Shan Yu and his men crawl out from under the snow. She knew that she had to warn Sheng and the emperor. She rode quickly to the palace. Nobody believed Mulan's story. She was back to just being a girl. She tried to warn Li Sheng, but he was still angry with her. And there's Mulan left on the mountainside. That's really sad. I really wish they wouldn't have done that. And there's Mulan trying to tell everybody that they're still alive, but nobody believes her. She's a girl. The Huns arrived at the palace in the middle of the celebration. They had snuck down from the mountain and hid upon the top of the palace. Everyone was terrified as the Huns grabbed the emperor and took him up to the balcony of the palace. Mulan knew she had to save him. She told Li Sheng and the troops that she had a plan. Mulan told several of the men in the troop to dress like women. They all snuck into the palace. The Huns that were guarding the door were fooled. They liked the attention they were getting from these women, and they let their weapons down. Mulan and her friends attacked. They broke through the palace door and saved the emperor from the grips of Shan Yu. After the men hustled the emperor to safety, Mulan found herself trapped on the roof of the palace with Shan Yu. Mushu the dragon was in a nearby tower. The tower held fireworks that were to be used for the victory celebration. He strapped himself to a big rocket and aimed it at Shan Yu. The Huns were defeated. With her quick thinking and the help of her friends, Mulan had saved China and the emperor. The emperor was extremely grateful. He gave Mulan a crest of honor to show what she had done for him, and the sword of Shan Yu to show what she had done for China. Never before had a woman been so honored in China. She brought her family honor in the end. Mulan was thrilled to receive the recognition that the emperor gave her, but she really wanted to be with her family again. When she returned home, her father was very proud of her. "The greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter," Fa Zhao told Mulan as he gave her a hug. Li Sheng was still at the palace. The emperor could tell that Li Sheng was in love with Mulan. He told Li Sheng that Mulan was a very special girl and that he should find her and be with her. Li Sheng went to Mulan's home. Mulan's mother and grandmother were very impressed by the great warrior. They giggled with excitement as they watched him approach Mulan. Mulan was surprised but very happy to see him. She asked him to stay for dinner, for she had fallen in love with him too. There isn't a matchmaker in the world who could have done better. That's really cute. 'Cause they found it in the end. They were the true matchmakers.